YouTubers, what's going on? This the Ace Boom Coon, your Ace Boom Coon, your boy, your dude, and everything in between. Intergalactic Brew. And I wanted to do a video because I was on Google last night and Saturday night. And you know, we're coming off the I think it's the second or third day of the wrap up of the NFL draft, and now that the draft is officially over, a lot of teams are starting to look forward and get ready for free agency. And I wanted to do a video, and by the way, this video is strictly for all of my true, devoted, diehard Falcons fans out there. So, if you're a devoted, loyal, true, diehard Falcons fan, please feel free to comment on this video. You can give honest opinion. You know, no matter how honest it is, whether it's brutal or brutally, I should say. But just as long as you're not purposely trying to ridicule our football team, because the Atlanta Falcons have a great football team, and we're going to continue to get better. And I have a good feeling about this year, and I think it's going to be another magical season this season. So anyway, like I was saying, so now that the draft has surpassed us now, everybody's getting ready for free agency. So I was looking on Google a couple of days ago, and I wrote in the search box NFL free agents in 2011 that the Atlanta Falcons should get. And I saw the list that some of the bloggers on the Atlanta Falcons website that do the forums a lot, I saw some of the choices that they had, and I couldn't help but notice that some of the names that they mentioned were very interesting. And some of the names on that list I thought I would never see or hear come out of people's mouths in consideration for our team, the Falcons. But what I want is, I want all my subscribers out there, I want you to voice your opinion on this video, and who do you truly think that the Atlanta Falcons, our team, should get when free agency starts. Now, I'm going to give you all a few of the names that I saw, or at least the names that stuck out to me. Okay? And this is for every position. This is not only for the offense. This is for every position. Okay? Every important position, that is. So let's start off with the offense. Even though we really don't need like another guy added to the offense, but I mean, you know, if we just so happen to get one, then you know, I welcome it. But okay, for instance, at the wide receiver spot, I heard the names such as James Jones, who I believe is the third string wideout from the Green Bay Packers. I've heard Steve Smith, who in my opinion was probably the best receiver, if not one of the best receivers from the New York Giants until he got injured. Um, let's see. I've heard Steve Breston from the Arizona Cardinals, wide receiver. Second, no, I think he is the number 2 receiver next to Fitzgerald. I've heard his name. Um, let's see, there was one more guy. Um, I think I heard Malcolm Floyd from the San Diego Chargers. So yeah, there you go. Just a few names to mention there for the wide receiver position, but I really don't think we need another receiver because I think the Atlanta Falcons receiver core is pretty stacked as it is, you know. So I think with our selection of Julio Jones, our surprise selection of Julio Jones, I should say, in the NFL draft, I think he'll be the perfect number 2 receiver in our offense, and I think he fits our offensive scheme perfectly. So I think we're settled at the receiver position. So I don't think the Falcons will go after another receiver. Okay, let's see, running back. I've only heard a few names for running back. Some very good names too. I've heard D'Angelo Williams from the Panthers. And by the way, I just got finished watching a couple of his highlight videos on YouTube. That guy is phenomenal. I mean, he is just a powerhouse. I mean, physically tough. You know, just uncanny speed. That guy's, wow. He really blew me away. You know, I never knew that the Carolina Panthers had that type of running game at all. But yeah. So his name was brought up. I believe I heard Ahmad Bradshaw from the New York Giants. I heard his name brought up. I think Darren Sproles was on that list too, from the San Diego Chargers. I think he would actually be a very nice addition to our team. I think he could help Eric Weems out in the return game, because I've seen some of his highlights on YouTube as well, and he's a very versatile player. You know, he not only can he, you know, run the ball well, but you know, he's also extremely good in the return game as well. So should the Falcons decide to go out and get him, I think he would be an excellent acquisition. And I believe that's it on the running backs. Let's see, defensive ends. The only DE that I've really paid attention to, because I'm not familiar with the rest of them, but the only DE free agent that really stuck out to me was Ray Edwards from the Minnesota Vikings. That's really the main guy that they were really talking about that would be a nice addition to our defensive line. But yeah, that's really the only one I could really think of right now. I can't remember the other names that were next to him, because there were so many of them. So yeah, I think Ray Edwards would be a nice addition to our defensive line. I've seen a couple of his games recently. Good pass rusher. Um, really really gets after the quarterback. Can stay in his face. You know, and he's a big guy too, very strong. So should we decide to get him, cool. You know. Now, here's the thing. My main focus on this free agency, at least from the Falcons' perspective, would have to be the secondary. We have got to upgrade our secondary. I mean, we've got some valuable guys, or I should say a valuable guy in Brent Grimes. And don't get me wrong, we want to keep Brent Grimes, but the bottom line is, when it's all said and done, he needs some help. I mean, he can't do it by himself. We already know that. And, we really need to get this secondary constructed, because it's kind of frustrating seeing this secondary just completely getting dispatched, by these receivers. I mean, you look at the Green Bay game, we got totally owned by their receiving corps. I mean, from Jordy Nelson to Donald Driver to Greg Jennings, they just ripped us apart, and it was just sad to see. And after that game, that really let me know that if we're going to be one of the top defensive teams in the NFL, we have really got to we've really got to make up this secondary. I mean, no disrespect to Thomas Deku, but he hadn't shown up this season. Dante Robinson, I think he'll get better as time goes, because you have to give him the benefit of the doubt, because this was his first year with us, because he was just signed as a free agent this past season, so you kind of have to give him a pass and let him slide. But other than that, man, Deku and William Moore, they gotta bring more to the table than they did. I mean, they just can't have one or two good games. They've gotta bring it every game. So that's why I think we need somebody that can really help these guys out, mostly like a veteran type, and that's what leads me to the free agency defensive backs. I've heard a really good list of names with this particular side of the ball. Champ Bailey from the Broncos, William Gay from the Steelers, this one guy named Eric Wright from the Giants. I'm not too familiar with him. Y'all probably are more familiar with him than I am. And if you could, when you comment on this video, kind of put me up on game about him, because I don't know. But yeah, that's just a few of the names that I've heard before. So yeah, man, y'all comment on this video. Again, tell me your opinion. Tell me what you think. Tell me who you think the Atlanta Falcons need to pick up in free agency, both on the running back and the receiver position, even though I think we won't need any other receiver position, but definitely the running back position and the secondary. So let me know your opinions. Comment. I'll read them. Thanks for watching. Peace.